I love the United States of America. And the answer to that is absolutely. I was born here. I know no other place but here. I am 10 toes down, full-blooded American. But does that mean that because I am a born and bred American, that I'm supposed to be 100% behind the things that my government does to other countries? Absolutely not. I don't expect a person of any country to do that. If your government is doing wrong to other countries or to its own people, you're not supposed to back that. You're not morally, that's wrong. When I see the stuff that happens to citizens in America by its own government, rather it's the state, the feds, local, whatever, I'm going to voice my opinion on that. I'm going to say, well, that cop shouldn't have did that. That was wrong. But then you're going to have the Americans, that's the bootlickers, they're going to reinforce that authority. And that's the reason why a lot of cops get away with the stuff they get away with, because a lot of Americans scream blind patriotism. Blind patriotism is when you got the American blindfold on so tight that you can't see nothing wrong with what authoritarian figures do in America. You see nothing wrong with it. Rather it's local police or the president or the military, you don't see nothing wrong with when they're participating in wrongful, evil acts. And that makes you complicit. That makes you a part of the problem when you don't voice your opinion on the wrongs that your government is doing. For instance, you have the Tiny Hat Nation absolutely committed heinous crimes against the people of Gaza. And you have Americans that are voicing their opinions on it. But then you have Americans that don't care. And the Tiny Hat Nation works in conjunction with this country. So whatever they do, we do. And what's going on in Iran right now? You had us attack a sovereign nation, and you got Donald Trump supporters out here cheering it on, like almost like it's a game. It's not a game when people lose their lives. But to these people that's sitting home, eating McDonald's, and this is, they just watching from the sidelines. They think it's a game. They think it's funny. And it's a show of strength when the U.S. government is strong-arming people and kidnapping leaders of countries and putting sanctions on countries and, trying to put sanctions on them to make them bow down to our will. That's wrong, bro. What's patriotic about that, bro? Where's the patriotism in that? I thought patriotism represented freedom. So you really don't like freedom if you are okay with governments stealing presidents from other countries. You clap for that. Where's the freedom in that? How's that freedom? That's tyranny. That's tyrannical right there. The very same thing that you guys always talk about you don't like. Or is it that you only like tyranny when it's against other people, but you hate it when it happens to you? And I think that's the major problem with a lot of Americans. Not all Americans, but a lot of them. Especially you get a lot of this crap from a lot of these MAGA people and stuff like that. And I think it's absolutely disgusting to watch. If we were to drop a nuke on a country right now, you will have a lot of people in America clapping for it. Why? Because as long as this is not happening over here, they don't have a care in the world. Not realizing when you drop stuff like that, there's this thing called nuclear fallout, right? That can spread thousands and thousands of miles. So it will, in fact, affect you too. Americans cheered on this whole bombing of Iran. Now the gas prices going up, they complaining about it. Now, you can't have it both ways. You supported your president doing this stuff, and now you're mad that the gas is going up. He wasn't supposed to do that. That's wrong. He had sit downs with a. Do you see how grimy that is to have a sit down with a country, and in the midst of a sit down you attack them, bro? That's like I'm talking to somebody, trying to negotiate something with them, and I punch them in their face, behind their back. I side, I come from behind them, or somebody I'm talking with, I have somebody punch him, blindside him on the side of his face. How is that person ever gonna trust me again? And now y'all talking about going back to you killing my people, but you want me to sit down and talk with you after the fact? No, you kill my people, it's going to be lit, it's going to be up forever. There is no turning back. You can't do your wrong deeds and then expect me to want to talk to you when you ready for me to talk to you. That's not how it works, bro. That's not reality. In the United States now, we're seeing that their error in their ways, and their old version of reality is not reality. Now the bubble has been removed. It's being removed right now. So yes, I love America. This is an absolutely beautiful country. We do have some freedoms here, some, and then our freedoms come with restrictions. True freedom don't have restrictions. So that's the whole myth with America, that we are the freest country. But we have all these. If we're free, how come we can't own our houses? How come we gotta register our cars? How come, if we're so free, we should be able to have a choice? If you want to register your car, go ahead. If you don't want to register it, cool. You don't have that choice. So how you gonna claim to be a free country, but if I ride around without a plate on my car, I get pulled over by the police? Where's the freedom in that? That's not freedom. That's conditional freedom. Have that plate on the car and we'll leave you alone because we said so. That is a form of authoritarianism. I don't care what you say. It is. Every country has their form of authoritarianism. I think all governments within itself are forms of authoritarianism. I was just born into this. I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't ask for somebody to lead me. I was born alone. So blind patriots, these people that just go along with the get along whenever America does something messed up, are going to be one of the major downfalls of America. I blame you. Yeah, I blame you. And it's not just the Republicans. Same with Democrats. When Barack Obama did the same thing, they bombed Libya and nobody, they was okay with that. So all you patriots that's on the left, you can't say nothing about what Trump is doing when your president did the same thing and you said nothing. If the shoes were on the foot, if Barack Obama was in office right now, he was bombing Iran, a lot of the left won't say nothing. You see how it's a sickness, and I refuse to participate in that sickness. You are just as much of the problem, you blind patriots, as the people committing the atrocities. You are complicit in it. It's like you are part of it's like bank robbers, one holds the gun, the other one just comes in, but he's still part of the problem. He's still complicit. And as far as I'm concerned, if you voted for this dude and you are okay with what he's doing, you got a lot of blood on your hands. Yeah, y'all got a lot of blood on your hands, man. Iranian blood, American soldiers' blood too. Is you clap for it. You tried to find a reason to justify why it's okay for us to bomb Iran. And that country was never an imminent threat to us, ever. If anything, we messed with them first. And I'm not gonna go into the history. I've made videos, you can go look it up, Operation Ajax, installing the Shah. Yeah, y'all can go look this stuff up. And this same stuff that happened, if the shoe was on the other foot and that happened over here, Americans wouldn't like it. Right? Just like when Americans didn't like when the king, before the revolution, when he had his boot on America's neck, they didn't like that. And they decided, okay, well, we can't have that. All right. So they hated the king. So why are you mad at Iran for hating a country that did the exact same thing to them? Blind patriotism, man. That's going to be the biggest downfall of this country, man. Y'all just wait and see. It's happening right now. Anyway, you can love your country without loving the stuff your government does, bro. There's a difference. There's this misconception that if you don't agree with what go along with your country, what your government is doing, that means you hate your country. That's the sickest, twisted way of looking at things I've ever heard, man. But y'all be the judge, man. This is RebelWorld News. Thanks for watching. Let me know what y'all think. Drop comments and talk to me. Subscribe to the channel. I love y'all. Y'all stay safe out there. And I will catch y'all later.